It's been just over 70 days since the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed in Australia on January 25. And in that time, the world has changed so much, in ways that no one would ever have imagined even 4 weeks ago. It truly is a global pandemic that has changed the way we live, and it seems these changes will be with us for a long time yet. Our teachers and staff are considered to provide an essential service, so we continue to go to work. We've all chosen a career with lots of face-to-face interaction, so a studentless school has been difficult for us as we miss our students terribly. But we realise that being able to go to work puts us among the more fortunate at this time. As I was listening to ABC radio yesterday in the car, people were phoning to talk about the things they miss since coronavirus has imposed itself on our society. One frontline health worker said, "I miss being able to hug my children." An elderly lady said, "I miss being able to see my children and grandchildren." A project manager said, "I miss interacting with my colleagues and working to meet construction deadlines." Another said she missed dropping the kids at school and taking her time to casually peruse the shops at Robina or Pacific Fair. And finally, a worn-out mum said, "I miss seeing my children leave each morning to go to school." So why is this so difficult to handle? The answer is simple. We weren't created to live in isolation. God made beautiful, inquisitive, social beings to enjoy conversations, laughter, and to live a range of emotions and experiences. This insidious virus has no respect for race, religion, gender, socio-economic status, or even, it seems, age. Now the question quickly follows, where is God in all of this? Is this a judgment? We've all experienced a fair weather friend, one who contacts you only when they need something, or leans on you heavily in their time of need, but then seems to be too busy when you desperately need a friend. It makes me wonder whether it's possible to be a fair weather Christian, one who only reaches out to God in times of need and forgets Him when things improve. Well, first, let's be very sure that God is not doing this. A quick glance at the story of Job in the Bible makes it clear that natural disasters, sickness and disease is not an act of God, but rather it comes from the hand of the enemy of God. What gave the great men of the Bible the ability to stay strong and faithful in the face of adversity? I think of Job, who lost all of his children, his livelihood and health. Astonishingly, in the midst of this, he could say, "Even if God slays me, yet will I trust Him." When imprisoned and shackled to a Roman soldier, Paul and Silas sang hymns of praise in the night. And Joseph, after being sold into slavery by his brothers and betrayed by his master's wife, would not compromise in his faithfulness to God. Horatio Spafford was a successful businessman, married to his wife Anna. Together they had 4 daughters. They'd already lost a son to pneumonia and much of their fortune in the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. On November 21, 1873, Anna and their 4 girls boarded the French ocean liner, the Ville de Havre, to travel to Europe to support D.L. Moody on an evangelistic campaign. At the last minute, Horatio withdrew to care for an unexpected business matter, telling his wife he would join her and the children in Europe a few days later. About 4 days into the trip, their ship collided with a Scottish vessel and began to take on water. Just 12 minutes later it sank, taking Horatio's 4 daughters and 232 of its 313 passengers to the bottom of a watery grave. Later Anna was spotted on a piece of wreckage, and it was eventually gathered by another ship and taken to Wales. Upon her arrival, she sent a telegram to Horatio with just 2 haunting words: "Saved alone." Horatio boarded the first available ship to travel to his grieving wife, and one day the captain called him to the bridge. I believe this is the place where the Ville de Havre is resting, 3 miles deep. In an act that seems impossible to comprehend, Horatio departed from the bridge, went to his room and penned the words to a hymn that has brought comfort to millions of people in distress. It is well with my soul. There are many things that we're unable to do at the moment through isolation, but Jesus cares. There may be frustrations at home with kids under your feet and a longing for interaction. We have families who have lost jobs and are now worrying about mortgages, rent and basic necessities. There are single mums who worry about what will happen to their children if they get the coronavirus, and we're all anxious for our parents and grandparents at this time. Our prayer is that in the midst of these trials, we will sense that Jesus is near, and no matter what, we will be able to say, "It is well with my soul."